Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And now running right through it. Oh, he sheds himself free. He's got daylight. Touchdown, Houston. Bruce Ellington, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
Point after try forthcoming. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a guy who only became a starter relatively late in his career. It's the well-traveled veteran, Josh McCown.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's McCown. And that is incomplete. So not the turnaround they were hoping for, at least on this first drive. They were shut out last week, now an opening 3 and out.
And when you're coming up a game as they had last week, being shut out, this type of a start really puts a dent into your confidence.
On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Fair catch called for, no gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
to throw. And that's complete. It's Allington. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. They get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on third down. A handoff as they run the counter play. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll be fourth down. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out there, a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Count again on 2nd and 10. Going for the deep ball. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And now out comes Houston. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here. They can go ahead and do it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Now that play is blown up. Losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
And the Jets D, they call on a couple extra defensive backs on 3rd. Looking to throw. And some room to maneuver.
Whoosh.
And out of bounds just shy of the end zone at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First and goal, they'll look to smash it in. Maybe a quarterback sneak here. Back to throw. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Well, surprise, surprise. First and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to them quickly and put the quarterback down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this results in 6. Touchdown. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
And it's good to make it 14-0. Five plays there on that drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7.
Let's go.
They will run again with Coleman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
I have to admit I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
McCown now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
McCown looking to throw. And that is incomplete. Ten yards still left on second down. Throwing now is McCown. Over the middle, complete. It's Hansen. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Red zone opportunity. Coleman now. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On third down, that's Coleman. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's first and goal. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
Coleman. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. They'll toss it to Coleman. Able to power. Fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. DeAndre Smelter, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jets have made this a one-score game.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people. The power is way forward.
Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Play action. They'll throw. And his throw here is incomplete. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll drop to throw. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. And Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
The Texans send the punter out. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
On second down, here's McCown. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number one. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. 14-7 is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number two here. They do, however, have a tough third and long coming up.
Let's go. Green, 39.
Shotgun here for McCown. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Fielded just inside the 30. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Still going. They can't stop him. A big-time return there. 40 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Comes Houston. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And to give this time to the tailback. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
And New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
This is Coleman. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On first down, McCown. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Here's Coleman. And some room to work. Finding room inside the 40. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he did it again. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
And the tackle's made there by one of the secondary members. And I can guarantee you, having played that spot in the huddle right now or on the field, they're urging for a little bit more support from the guys up front. I actually remember one game where I hopped over a defensive lineman to make a tackle downfield and realized he was 10 yards downfield. That's not good. That's being driven off the line of scrimmage, and you can't have that if you're going to win a game on defense.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Coleman on the toss. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal.
Here we go now. 3-19.
It's Coleman here. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
They might think about going for it here, but it's still just the second quarter. Take the 3 points, tell the defense you believe in them, and let them get the ball back for you.
So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Following the field goal on is Locke Edwards to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Back out onto the field now. Here comes the Jet defense. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that. Totally missed it.
That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
How many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And now running right through it. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That was a good, forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well, and we saw on that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 6 there on first. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Yeah, he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
first down. They'll run it on the draw play. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. Second down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
In just 2 minutes' time, don't forget we'll get you to Orlando for our halftime report. To bring it to you, who else but Larry Ridley?
Now that man knows his football. Go get him, Larry.
Here we go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Texans on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be third and forever.
Let's go. Blue landed.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And this one is right through. And that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So a good kick that time, and he's able to redeem himself from the previous miss.
And fortunately for him, he got the chance to do that not long after missing the first time. Sometimes a whole game goes by, and you don't get that chance at all. So you keep it with you till the next time you take the field.
This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your run.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
McCown to throw on second down. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing is McCown on third down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And the ball is knocked out. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Green 39. Green 39.
Back to the air on second down. McCown. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great, but you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big third down.
Green 39.
From the gun on third, McCown. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
And they give this time to the tailback. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a nice play by the defense, but the offense can't let that one play define them. Let it go, move on, and start over again.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get you caught up on all the highlights from the first half. The Jets haven't played their best football and trail because of it. The Texans have come in and looked good as the road team. And will just keep trying to play hard and maintain the lead going forward. Edwards is going to kick it away. The return will start from the 49. And nobody can stop him on this long touchdown as they get out to a 7-0 lead. Offense out now following the interception. Klug's going to dart up the middle, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. The lead now at 14. Jets with the ball, end of the first. Coleman's is going to take it off the left edge, and he'll end up sprinting into the end zone, trailing now by just a touchdown.
Thank you, LR. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Let's get that ball, let's get that ball right. All right, here we go.
McCown throwing on second. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Hurry up, here we go.
To throw, it's McCown. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
The Jets on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So it'll be first down here after the run. Now McCown. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Chad Hansen, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him.
Let's go. Green 39. Green.
Play action. McCown. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hansen. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaken up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball and carry it. They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Second down now after the incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And oh, he coughed it up. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Ellington has it, middle of the field. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Second down now after the pass completion. Now back to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw again. And he's got room. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. And to give this time to the tailback. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner. Everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Second down following the incompletion. The play fake. He'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. This offense on 3rd down today, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal.
This is where you're probably weighing the score and the clock. Third quarter, so maybe it's a little early to start worrying about how much time is left in the game. But if you kick the field goal, you make it a 2-score game. A tough balance and a tough decision for any coach to make.
So they get the field goal, but part of that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally, when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the third quarter. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Hang on now. 319. 319.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. McCown looks to throw on 3rd. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Christian Covington in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And an update now from down in Miami. And the Dolphins think an upset. They lead in that game. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Jackson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. So we've got a 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Back to throw here. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The offense on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and goal. They'll drop to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Now for the point after. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fairly short kick taken at the 14 here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Christian Covington in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 2nd down, here's McCown. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun here for McCown. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here's McCown. He's going to float this one deep right side. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Here we go.
Oh, boy, 4 in the game.
Yeah, about the 4 in the game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
Play clock winding down.
Let's go.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
In the red zone this time.
Hurry up, here we go. Ooh, landed.
Back to throw now on first down. And he fires one incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's fourth down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And New York set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. From midfield, here's McCown. Looking sideline, incomplete. Quincy Anoon with the intended receiver. And it's second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
McCown will try again on second down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And that is incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now McCown got to have this one. And this is incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Now they try the right side here. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Time running out here on the play clock. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And this will be touchdown across midfield at the 45-yard line. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. McCown to throw on 2nd down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Angelo Blackson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. On 3rd and long, it's McCown. He's going to let it fly. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Here's McCown to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd, McCown. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down.
Here we go now.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And they got 29 yards there. And the Jets are going to have a 1st down. Now McCown. And he fends him off. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. McCown throwing on 2nd. Incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
To throw is McCown. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Well, 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
It's in the 4th quarter down in Miami, and it's the Dolphins that wound up winning that one. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Texans, they're into the win column for the third time this year as they get the victory here. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.